Welcome back, everyone. It's here. And today I've got some r/BestOf for you all. As per usual, I'll be reading you the posts, giving you my opinions, and I hope you do the same down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. This post was collected by DreckCaterpillar77, and their tagline is, "Satan is not a pogo stick." The original OP is Spiritual Ad 5091, posted to r/Am I the Jerk, December 18th, 2024. Am I the asshole for cutting all contact with my family because of a prank? So I have posted a story on here before, and I got some pretty good advice, so please help. Here's what happened. I, 27 female, have always had a complicated relationship with my family. They've always been the type of people who think any joke is fine, as long as someone laughs, no matter who gets hurt. Over the years, I've tried to brush it off and not let it bother me too much, but this time, they crossed a line I can't ignore. Recently, I achieved something big in my life. I bought my first house after saving for years. It's something I worked incredibly hard for, sacrificing vacations, nights out, and basically anything extra to make it happen. I was beyond proud of myself and excited to finally have a place to call my own. Naturally, I wanted to share this milestone with my family, even though our relationship has always been rocky. A few weeks ago, we had a family dinner to celebrate my new home. Everything seemed fine at first. They congratulated me, asked about the house, and seemed genuinely happy for me. But halfway through the night, my brother, 30 male, and sister, 25 female, handed me an envelope. They said it was a surprise to help me with my house. I opened it, and inside was what looked like a legal notice stating that my house purchase had been canceled because of a clerical error, and that it was now being sold to someone else. It even had an official-looking letterhead, my name, and details about the house. I was in complete shock. Everyone around the table started laughing, and my brother yelled, "Gotcha!" Turns out they had faked the letter and thought it would be hilarious to see my reaction. I burst into tears, which only made them laugh harder. They even recorded the whole thing on their phones to post on social media. When I finally managed to speak, I told them how cruel it was. Buying this house was the biggest thing I'd ever done, and they turned it into a joke at my expense. Their response, "You're so sensitive, it was a prank, lighten up." I left dinner early, completely heartbroken. A few days later, I decided I'd had enough. This wasn't the first time they'd pulled a prank like this. Over the years, they've humiliated me countless times, once ruining a job interview outfit by accidentally spilling coffee on it. Another time pretending to lose my dog, just to see me panic. I cut off all contact. I didn't make a scene, I just stopped responding to messages, blocked them on social media, and declined invites to family events. Now I'm getting guilt-tripping messages from extended family saying I'm being selfish and tearing the family apart. My mom even left me a voicemail crying about how much she misses me and begging me to come back. But I can't bring myself to forgive them. This prank felt like the final straw, and I don't see how I can trust them again. So Reddit, am I the asshole for cutting off my family over this prank? Top comment, Best Confidence 1560. You're rightfully upset because it wasn't a prank, it was bullying. The "it was just a joke" bullshit is something every bully does to justify humiliating people. They thought it'd be fun to upset you on your big night and then take videos of it and post it on social media? And your mother is crying that she misses you? No, she had an opportunity there to rip them a new one about their behavior and about treating you with kindness and respect. And she thought it would be better to go along with the prank. You deserve better than this. I'm glad you finally decided to call an end to their bullying. Don't let them or any extended family members pressure you into doing anything you don't want to do. I'm sorry that they couldn't just be happy for you for your achievement. Congratulations on your new home. Wait, to add, thank you for the kind awards. I just hope OP gets some measure of peace from these people. She has earned it. OP updated the post December 22nd, 2024. Edit. Thank you all for the advice and support. I wanted to provide an update because things have escalated in ways that I never expected. After I went no contact with my family, I thought they'd eventually accept my decision and move on. But that hasn't been the case. For the past few weeks, my brother and sister have been trying to get me to see the funny side of the prank. They've shown up at my house uninvited multiple times, banging on the door and demanding to talk to me. At first, I ignored them, but it became clear they weren't going to stop. One evening, I caught them standing outside my house with their phones out, recording themselves while yelling things like, "She can't take a joke!" and "Let's see how long she can hide." It felt more like harassment than an attempt to reconcile. The final straw came when I discovered my car had been egged overnight, and my security camera caught my brother and sister doing it. I confronted them through text, telling them they'd crossed a line and needed to stop. Their response? "You're so dramatic! You're going to laugh about this one day." At this point, I realized I couldn't handle this on my own. I went to the police and filed a report for harassment. They took my statement, reviewed the footage from my security camera, and agreed that this behavior was unacceptable. My siblings were contacted and warned to stay away from me. Their reaction? More mocking messages, calling me a snitch, and accusing me of tearing the family apart. Some of my extended family members are siding with them, saying I should have just talked it out instead of involving the police. But others, especially those who have seen the footage, are horrified and fully support my decision. I feel a mix of relief and sadness. It's hard to accept that my own family could treat me this way, but I also feel safer, knowing I've taken steps to protect myself. I'm focusing on building a new life in my home and surrounding myself with people who respect and support me. To anyone out there struggling with toxic family dynamics, you're not alone, and it's okay to set boundaries to protect your space. Thank you for giving me the strength to stand up for myself. New update, March 5th, 2025. The same post, nearly 3 months later. Final edit, I think. I know I haven't updated in a while, and honestly, it's because dealing with all of this has been exhausting. Even after filing the police report, my brother and sister wouldn't let up. I wanted to believe they'd eventually get bored and move on, but instead, they doubled down. The mocking messages didn't stop. They even bragged about the warning they received, treating it like a joke. My extended family was still split. Some still told me I was overreacting, while others admitted they were disturbed by my siblings' behavior. Then, things escalated. My security cameras caught them trespassing on my property again, this time leaving a mess of toilet paper and shaving cream all over my driveway. That was the final straw. I went back to the police and provided the new footage, showing that they had ignored the warning. This time, I filed for a restraining order. I had more than enough evidence to prove that their behavior was escalating, and after presenting everything, security footage, text messages, and police reports, the judge granted it. They were legally ordered to stay away from me, my home, and my workplace. At first, they acted like it was a joke, but when they realized I wasn't playing their game anymore, the harassment finally stopped. The restraining order forced them to keep their distance, and for the first time in a long time, I felt safe. Some family members still don't understand why I had to take things this far, but I don't need their approval. I did what I had to do to protect myself. My home is now a place of peace, not anxiety. My phone is quiet. My life is my own again. To anyone dealing with toxic family members who refuse to respect your boundaries, don't be afraid to stand up to yourself. You're not obligated to tolerate mistreatment just because it comes from family. Your safety and well-being comes first, always. And if they want to call me a snitch for defending myself, so be it. I'd rather be a snitch than a doormat. Stay strong. I wonder how many of the pranks were just out of jealousy because OP is doing better than them. Honestly, it sounds like their siblings could never grow up and actually just stuck in the past, still felt like teenagers, wanted to live out the glory days for as long as possible. It's just a prank, bro. Don't be a snitch. Like, imagine vandalizing someone's house, property, car, or whatever, and then when they report you to the police, you're like, whoa, why are you snitching on me? It was just a joke. Like, you caused property damage. I had to pay to get this cleaned up. And not to mention, you all know I've dealt with my fair share of housing anxiety, and it's unfortunately fairly public. But this isn't a prank. This is just abuse. It's cruelty. It's just heartbreaking. This is not something fun to do to someone. This is hell. Also, not gonna lie, there is a little bit of a part of me because they didn't take the police report seriously, that they would have broken the restraining order, not taking it seriously, and dealt with the consequences of that, and actually finally faced something for the first time in their lives that actually gave them consequences for their actions. Because it's pretty fucking obvious by how they act as adults that they've never had the hammer actually brought down on them for their bullshit behavior. Good on OP for standing up for themselves. They certainly deserve to. And any family member that has any doubt, show them the footage, show them what's actually going on, Because they're probably hearing only one side of the story and just like, well, it just sounds like good old family shenanigans. Why are they being such a stick in the mud over there? Meanwhile, those who saw the footage were just left in a state of shock and awe. So my guess would be is if the footage was circulated, that wouldn't be an issue anymore. This post was collected by Direct Caterpillar 77, and their tagline is, Satan is not a pogo stick. The original OP is Fell Pros, posted to r/Am I the Asshole? Would I be the Asshole? Public, June 18th, 2025. Am I the asshole for leaving my best friend's surprise party early because it felt more like a roast? Okay, so I, 24 female, have this best friend. Let's call her Jenna, 24 female too. And we've been close since high school. Like, held my hair while I threw up in the Denny's bathroom type of friends. I honestly love her. I really do, but she can be a lot. So anyway, she threw this little surprise party for me last weekend. My birthday was last Tuesday, but she insisted on celebrating Friday. She told me to dress cute, and she made it sound like it was gonna be this wholesome wine and charcuterie night with the girls. Sounds great, right? Well, I show up in this cute white dress I literally bought for the occasion, hair curled, nails done, all that. I walk in and they yell, surprise! But not in a we love you way, it was a theme party. The theme? Dress like the birthday girl in Roast Her. I kid you not. Everyone was wearing versions of my go-to outfits. Messy bun, iced coffee cups, fake nails, bad parking tips taped to their bags. Okay, that one kind of got me. But then they started doing fake toasts that were just jabs, like, here's to blank, who always has a 10-step skincare routine but still wakes up looking tired. To OP, who thinks astrology is a personality trait. To OP, who ghosted her gym membership but never forgets the DoorDash McFlurries at 2 a.m. Like, some of it was funny, I'll admit, but after 20 minutes, it just got mean. I kept smiling through it like, haha, good one. But deep down, I was like, damn, this wasn't a roast with love, it was just people clowning on me for sport. So, after pretending to go to the bathroom, I grabbed my keys, quietly told Jenna, I think I'm done for the night, and left. I didn't make a scene, I didn't cry, I just left. I texted her later that I appreciated the effort, but it felt more like I was the butt of the joke, not the guest of honor. Now Jenna's mad and saying I embarrassed her, and that it was just jokes, and I'm being too sensitive. A few of the others messaged me saying they thought I overreacted, and it was all in fun. But like, isn't a birthday supposed to feel good? Not like a Comedy Central special? So tell me, am I the asshole for walking out of my own roast disguised as a birthday party? Also, for the record, I'm now officially team, next year I'm celebrating with pizza and my cat. Relevant comments. Anxious ad 9334. Not the asshole, it was a roast. OP responds, haha, I mean, yeah, it was a roast, but like, I thought I was getting cheese and wine, not emotional damage and public humiliation. I was literally standing there like, is this still fun, or am I just the unpaid entertainment now? Honestly, if someone had handed me a mic and a drink, I would have done a tight 5 about them too. Fairmount 1955. Not the asshole. Ironic she wants to claim anything about being embarrassed. That none of your friends care that humor got stale and are continuing to pile on rather than reflect. Well, are they even friends or do they even like you? OP responds, right? That's what's been messing with my head the most. Like, if this is their idea of fun or love, I'd honestly hate to see what their version of shade looks like. I kept thinking maybe I was being too sensitive, but the fact that not one person said, hey, maybe this is going too far, kinda says it all. It felt like I walked into a group chat where they've been secretly roasting me for months and accidentally read the whole thing out loud. Still debating if I should fade out or hit them with a group message titled Roast This and attach a pic of me on a solo spa weekend. Update, June 19th, 2025, the next day. Hey everyone, wow, I did not expect this much love and support. I've been reading through your comments, like obsessively to be honest, and I can't even tell you all how comforting it's been. I thought I was crazy for being too sensitive like Jenna said, but apparently I was just reacting like a normal human. With, feelings. So thank you. So here's what happened since I posted. Jenna texted me, not to apologize, but to send me a meme that said, roasting is a love language, with a laughing emoji. I left her unread because, girl, seriously? Later that night, one of the girls from the party, we'll call her Becca, DM'd me and said she thought I knew about the roast. She said Jenna told everyone I was totally down for it and even helped plan it. I was like, what? The only thing I planned was the white dress I wore while being emotionally shanked by 6 girls in fake Uggs. Anyway, I gently explained to Becca that nope, I was blindsided, and she immediately apologized and said she felt really bad. She even said if she'd known, she never would have gone along with it. So that honestly made me feel a bit better. At least one of them has a soul. As for Jenna, radio silence since the meme. No apology, no, hey, I messed up. Nothing. So I've decided I'm not going to chase people to value them. My new plan? I took a personal day. Got myself a mini spa package, ate overpriced macarons, and spent my night with my cat binge-watching The Bear, while wearing a gold face mask like I was healing from battle, because emotionally I kinda was. I've realized this whole thing was actually a weird gift. I got roasted, yes, but I also got clarity. I thought I had a solid group of friends. Turns out I had a front row seat to my own roast, hosted by people who think mean but make it Pinterest is a cute party idea. So yeah, next year it's just me, my cat, a pizza the size of a steering wheel, and 0 surprises. And you know what? That honestly sounds perfect. Thanks again for validating my gut feeling. Y'all really helped me feel seen. Honestly, it's incredibly telling that to get the party going, Jenna lied to everyone. So that way they all thought that you were totally on board with it. Yeah, guys, she's totally on board with all of us dressing like her and then spending the entire party roasting her. It'll be so much fun. I mean, I agree with OP. You got a decent gift for your birthday. You found out who some of your friends really are. But it's at least nice that, like, one of them was actually willing to apologize and realize, oh my god, this is fucked up. Hopefully the gossip spreads like wildfire and people realize very quickly that Jenna is kind of just a fucking monster. Good luck, OP. And good on you for trusting your gut and putting some distance between you and them. And hopefully next year's birthday party goes exactly as planned. Before we get into this, massive fucking content warning for the discussion of the background of Lolita, grooming, child predators, Epstein, and anything else that might potentially fall into that list. So please, viewer discretion is advised. This post was collected by Lucy Aria Rose, and their tagline is, I'm keeping the garlic. The original OP is, this is really Joe Frank. She posted in r/advice. Posted June 18th, 2025. How can I, tell my sister that she can't name her baby daughter Lolita? My sister, 37 female, is not the most well-read person. She gave birth to a baby girl yesterday. She's got 2 boys already, and has wanted a girl for a long time. She's just told me that they're naming her Lolita. I don't know how to process this or how to tell her that this is not a good or cute or edgy name. We don't have the closest relationship and I'm her older sister and childless by choice. She often thinks I'm boring or a stick in the mud. I worry that anything I say will just be eye-rolled at or make her stick to the name harder. Some of OP's comments. Does sister know about the name and its connotations? I don't know, but I'm making the sweeping assumption that she hasn't read it or watched the movie, but knows of Lolita fashion/style. I genuinely don't even know how to bring it up or if I should just leave it to her. Commenter. Don't tell her why, just ask her nicely to Google the name, then decide for herself. OP responds, the problem is that she's very proud and always thinks everyone is judging her, even if they're literally just trying to help her. So even if presented with evidence, she'll either refuse to read it or say that she doesn't care. I've tried to be as kind but clear as I can without sounding judgmental or like I think she's not smart. Commenter, Lolita is not a name. The name is Maria de los Dolores. Tell your sister the whole Hispanic world is going to laugh at her. OP responds, she named her other kid Teo. Pronounced Theo. Oh. So I think she doesn't care who laughs at her at this point. Update 1. Same post, several hours later. Edit to add updates. I've written her a message outlining my concerns. Hey love, I'm so happy and excited for you and the new little one. And I want you to know that I love and support you and that I'll always be there for you. This message isn't meant to shame or hurt you, but I want you to be making as informed a decision as possible. I wasn't aware of all the history of Lolita myself, so I looked it up and asked some advice of others better read than me. I wanted to share some thoughts on the name, not to tell you what to do, but just to make sure you have all the information. While it's a beautiful sounding name, Lolita carries some really strong and often unpleasant connotations. As I'm sure you're already aware, it's the title and name of the 12-year-old girl in Nabokov's book and films. The book is about her sexual assault by an older man, and because of this, the name has become synonymous with the sexualization and exploitation of underage girls. In the book, she is painted as a 12-year-old seductress, even though, of course, at 12, she cannot consent. And we're encouraged to sympathize with the pedophile. Beyond the book, the term Lolita is, of course, now a category of barely legal pornography. And more recently, Jeffrey Epstein named his private plane the Lolita Express, as if the name needed any further connection to child sex trafficking. I know how much thought you're putting into this, and ultimately, I will love and support you and your baby no matter what name you choose. I just wanted to make sure you were aware of these associations, as they're pretty ingrained in pop culture and beyond. Let me know if you want to talk about it, and if this is your final decision, then I will say no more and will support your decision. Folks have reminded me that she'll be hormonal, exhausted, and emotional at this point, so I'm not going to send it to her till she's settled back home from the hospital. I don't want to overwhelm her with a wall of text, but I think text is the best option so she can read back through it if she needs. I genuinely love and care for her, and if this is a thought-through decision, then I will support her in it. I just really want to make sure that she has all the info that she can. She's both hot-headed and strong-willed, so I'm afraid that if I push, she'll stick through her choice through stubbornness rather than a real love for the name. So any advice on the wording is appreciated. Update 2, same post, June 19th, 2025, the next day. Final update, I sent her that message and got back gifts that say, "No one asked your opinion," and "I'm searching for fucks to give." And was told that she doesn't give two shinies what I think. So, I guess little Lolita is on her own. Some of OP's comments. Commenter: why is your sister such a stoop and you seem normal? Did you grow up together? How do you get to be a whole 37 years and think Lolita is a good idea? I don't get it. You sure she isn't just fucking with you? LOL, I keep trying to picture a 6-year-old named Lolita showing up for first grade. Her teachers are going to cringe. Send your sis this thread, LOL. OP responds: I was so tempted to send her this thread in anger, but strike while the iron's cold and all that. We had a tough childhood. Interesting parents. I've done like 10 years of therapy at this point, and she's still in the "you don't need therapy, just go for a run" mindset. So yeah. Commenter: downvoted at the time of this post. The fact that you told her all that and she doesn't care, that's disgusting. That poor child. She clearly shouldn't have kids with that attitude, because how can anyone read that and still want to name their child that? It's disturbing. I would legit not trust her and even stop talking to her. This is kind of a big deal. I'm sorry that may seem extreme, but how can she be so flippant on something so serious? I'm disgusted for real. OP responds: I'm taking a break from her for a bit, for both of our sanity, but I want to make sure that I'm there for the kids if they ever need an auntie. Commenter from Cutie Bo Booty. Tagline is, "We have generational trauma for breakfast." See, you can't be nice with people like OP's sister. You actually do have to hit them with the, "Ew, you're naming your daughter after shit?" Now, in addition, I'm also going to include this comment from Jade Rust, which kind of gives a nice little rundown of the book Lolita, because OP does have a bit of an inaccurate interpretation of it, and this comment helps clear the air on it. Jade Rust comments: I'll do my usual spiel of how Lolita is an amazing book, in the genre of psychological horror, which was the author's intent. The book is presented as if it's a memoir, but is given a foreword from someone who says they're a mental health professional who is treating the narrator. They're clearly horrified by the contents of the novel, but are publishing it with the hopes that people like the narrator will be understood so they can be treated better in the future. With that in mind, it is absolutely not a romance and absolutely is a dark dive deep into the mind of a monster, one who is lying constantly, even to himself. Lolita is not even the name of the little girl. It's the name he gives her because it's sexier. And this 12-year-old, who is just doing kid stuff like playing tennis, is the sexiest thing he's seen. This man stalks Lolita, marries her mother to get close to her. Then, when the mom finds out his obsession with her daughter, she mysteriously dies in an accident that is so well timed it's suspicious, letting the narrator take Lolita on a road trip that further isolates her. It's a masterpiece of horror and unreliable narration that makes you question how much of the story is actually happening and how much is the narrator justifying his abhorrent actions because he's unable to see himself as the villain. It is not a romance. If someone talks about how romantic it is, then they either missed the point or it's a huge red flag for their psyche. But the book itself is really great if you enjoy psychological horror and are not too disturbed by the child abuse themes. Like, I would never suggest it to a survivor as it's written entirely from the abuser's perspective. You get glimpses of how Lolita is dealing with the abuse. She ultimately escapes the narrator and years later says he ruined her life. But the narrator hates her at this point because she's grown old. She's like 19 or early 20s max, and is no longer his sexy little Lolita. Great book. Absolutely terrible name for a real child. If I met someone with that name, I'd first ask if they've changed it to that. Sus, and then assume their parents were pets. No one should be naming a kid that. It's like screaming from the rooftop that your kid is going to be pet bait, and that just grosses me out. Don't forget, this is brought to you by GamerSupps. Use code ODDS at checkout. It's basically a caffeine powder that you put in your water, and I actually really like it. I use this on a daily basis. Don't forget that every purchase you make using code ODDS directly supports the channel. And if you want a personal recommendation from me, I would either recommend the Soda Pressing Pear or Dragon Fruit Punch. Those two are currently my favorite flavors. And as a note, once we sell a certain amount of stuff, I get my own flavor and my own cup, and you all know I'm gonna choose some degenerate shit that's gonna make their PR team squirm. My goal is to make them regret partnering with me. So please, use code ODDS at checkout to make my dream come true of making a PR team squirm.